Hi there, it's Stacey Ashley here and coming to you live again, of course. Friday morning, and where I am in Sydney, a beautiful, beautiful day, a really good day to get outside and have a walk, which is kind of in line with what I want to talk about today, which is as leaders, regardless of your level, regardless of your portfolio, sometimes you just need to give yourself a break. So welcome if you're live, and if you're watching the recording, I would love to know your thoughts on this topic as we move through, continue to make progress through COVID-19 and the massive changes that it's brought about our work. I'm just going to check my live stream. Beautiful. We are live. So one of the things that I've noticed, and I've been having quite a few conversations with the people around me, colleagues, clients, friends, is that they're tired. It's been a really intense period of time. And while they're still focused and they're still contributing and they're still showing up, they're tired. And I think that we run a risk of massive levels of burnout at the moment. In fact, just this morning I was having a conversation with a colleague about exactly that. You know, there are so many leaders who are stepping up and trying to do the right thing that they're not giving themselves a break. And I mean, physically and mentally, just, you know, giving themselves permission to take time out occasionally. You know, the old adage of put on your own oxygen mask first before helping others has a lot of value in it. So I'd love to know for you, what are you doing to put on your own oxygen mask? But there's a couple of things I wanted to share with you about how do we look after ourselves so that we're capable then of leading and looking after the people that we serve. The first one, of course, is just, you know, general self-care around, you know, sleep and exercise and diet and just not working all the hours of every day, and setting really clear boundaries. So I think one of the dangers at the moment, particularly where we've got lots of people who are working in a home situation, is that you don't have to leave work to get home. And you don't have to travel to work. And so what's happening is that work is expanding to fill up the available space. And what that means, I'm just going to get rid of this. And what that means, of course, is that people are actually working longer hours. And so it's intense and it's long, which means they're not getting downtime, or they're not getting a change of space or a change of even physiology. And so I think it's really important for people to take control of their working hours, and to encourage your teams, of course, to take control of your working hours so that you can give yourself a break, you know, actually be really clear. And so there's lots of things you can do around that. Of course, figuring out when are you going to be working and when are you not going to be working, making sure that your work time is productive by using, you know, a Pomodoro approach, or mixing up your work so that, you know, you're doing the work that you need real thinking capacity for in the times when you are generally most alert, that you're doing things that are less intensive when perhaps you're not at your absolute peak of performance. So that's the first thing. The second thing, or actually that's two things now, isn't it? One is about general self-care. The second is about actually setting boundaries around your work. And then the third thing is, I think people really have got to give themselves a break around goal achievement. So there's always, in organizations, there's a focus on goals and KPIs and KRAs and what we delivered and all of those sorts of things. And it is important, but I think let's not forget, I'm just checking my feed again to see if there's any comments. Let's not forget, and there are comments, so let me just check those. I better turn my volume off as well. All right, so let me see who we've got. I've got Penny, good morning, and Rahulan again, good morning, Asin and Susan. So welcome. And Susan says the home work environment can be hard to switch off. It can if you don't be proactive about it. So you actually have to be disciplined and make really good choices for yourself. And so some of the things are actually making really clear decisions about when I'm working and when I'm not. Where in the house do I work? And so where do I go when I'm not working? And so, being really clear and actually choosing that and then following through so that you leave your workspace and go somewhere else in your home living arrangement so that you are actually leaving work is super powerful. So look after yourself, set your boundaries around work. But then the third thing is around this goals piece. So organizations had goals, teams had goals, individuals had goals before, the whole COVID situation arose. And the thing is that some of those goals are absolutely still valid. Some of them will have changed. Some of them will have been completely removed and new other important things will have come up. I think one of the things that really is powerful at the moment in terms of giving ourselves a break is, remember, it's not always about goal achievement, it's about progress. Okay, and so if you want to approach things with, a growth mindset and I guess an understanding that progress is positive and constructive, that's really going to support you because we don't have to hit goals every day. What we need to do is to focus on how we're going to make progress every day. And that creates momentum, and that, of course, is reinforcing your achievement, but it's giving yourself a break. Just because you didn't make the goal today doesn't mean everything was terrible and you were a failure and all those things. It's about progress, recognizing how we're contributing, recognizing where we're making a difference, and acknowledging the progress that's happening because that's super important. And of course, equally, you can share that with your teams. Progress is what we're after. Progress is going to make the difference. That we're moving further forward than we were yesterday. So that's now 3 things. And then the 4th thing I wanted to just go over again is about leading change. And I've talked about this in earlier lives. Where when we're leading change, particularly a change like this, which was kind of imposed on us, and we know we've got a way to go, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And so we have to pace. And pacing, when we're talking about change, is that we don't just kind of start all the activities and go for it the whole time, because people will burn out, including you. And you're the person who needs to be leading the change for your sphere of influence, whatever that may be, whether it's just yourself or whether it's your team or whether it's, your peers, your business, your home and your family. So thinking about pacing of change so that we go at different levels of intensity at different points during the change, and that allows us to do a number of things. So let me just quickly recap on how we pace change. So typically what we would do is we would know that we're going to start a change and we would activate the different streams of activity. And that's just about getting set up, making sure that we've got the right resources, the right people, and they're pointed kind of in the right directions. And then after a period of activity, we calibrate that. So we check in. How's it going? Are we making the right kind of progress? Have we got the right combination of factors in play? And once we've done our calibration, and these periods or pacing stages could take different lengths of time. So you might activate for a few weeks, then you might do a week of calibration. Then we go into acceleration. And acceleration is about, once we've done calibration, we know everything is working the way we want it to. So then we accelerate. And that's a period of intense activity where we make a lot of progress. Now, in this particular change, we just jumped straight into acceleration. We had to do a lot of things really, really quickly. And once we've done our intense acceleration, then we go into a new stage of pacing, which is the evaluation stage. And this is where we actually check in with what's happened. What worked, what didn't work, what did we learn? It's also an opportunity to celebrate what we've done, to acknowledge the effort, to value it. And that's like a re-energizing phase. And that's where we really should be now. We've done the acceleration, we've done the intensity, we need to evaluate it. And then when we've done that evaluation and we've done that re-energizing and we've done the celebration and acknowledgement, that's when we then start a new phase of activation. So now is the time to make sure that you are re-energizing, that you are evaluating, so that you're ready for the next stage of activation. And I'm hoping that that makes a lot of sense to you, because this is long term. And if we just go intensively all the time, we're going to burn out. And that's not good for you, and it's not good for anybody else. So those are my 4 key areas to help you to give yourself a break right now. So the first one is just general self-care, then setting boundaries around work. 3 is noticing progress rather than just noticing where the goals have been achieved. So notice progress. And the 4th is pacing your change. So changing the levels of intensity through activation, calibration, acceleration, evaluation. And I should just finish off with the 5th one, which is be kind to yourself. It's okay if you don't get everything done today. Just be kind to yourself. Reflect on how you're actually feeling and what you need in order to be able to move forward as the best version of yourself as a leader right now. So let me just check my comments again. Welcome, Christopher. I can see you as well. Yeah, look, there's been so much going on, particularly in Australia. We've just had this series of event after event with, drought and bushfires and floods and COVID. So it's really, really important to give yourself a break. So I hope that those ideas give you something to work with. And my suggestion would be maybe just pick one that will make a bit of a difference for you. And then, of course, look at, sharing those ideas with the people around you and your team as well. So have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. And I hope that you get the opportunity to give yourself a break over the weekend. And I will talk to you again pretty soon. Otherwise, have a great day.